Hello everybody, this is Slaan here, and unfortunately we're not live streaming at the moment. I've got a load of things to mess around with in the editor, so this is just going to be a quick video, one to let you know that I'm still alive, but two, just to show you how to convert all of your Alpha 19 prefabs and builds in a matter of seconds through the in-game console commands. So if we just fire the editor up, and once we've had a quick look at this, it's just a short video. I'll dig my notes out and we'll have a look at some of the other commands that we've got now as well. A few new things to tinker with the editor, so hopefully we'll do a bit more building and tinkering over on Twitch. So I'm just going to get the menu up. We'll make new prefab so I can see the floor. And most people, when they come in, I've copied all of my prefabs from 19 into my Alpha 20 install. It's the data prefabs, and I've put all of my stuff into the POI folder. Previously there was no subfolders in there, but now we've got ports, RWG tiles, POIs, and I think there's a test folder in there as well. But if I just load up a piece of bridge, so you can see there's the thumbnail, and we'll grab this one. And this is what most people who've got a shitload of prefabs are logging into now. But not to worry, we can fix all of that stuff. So it took us a little bit of tinkering. I've not done this for a while now, but if you bring up the help menu in the console, and I'll just stare at the sky so it's a bit easier to see. You can see if we scroll up, there is, where is it? Prefab updater. So that's the command that we're interested in. And then if we do help prefab updater, we get a lovely little guide on what to do. So it's been, I think Alpha 16 to 17 was the last time that I converted any prefabs. So I had that sort of mindset when I was tackling this one initially, and I had a little few fuck ups. But if you're not using custom blocks, if you build all of your prefabs out of just vanilla blocks, we can basically skip straight to stage 4, 5 and 6. Where it says here the name table file, if you read the notes, we've now got a block update CSV which has the conversion from 19 to 20 for everything, and it even mentions the blocks that are depreciated now. So if you haven't got custom blocks in there, we can just use the commands basically, and it's this simple. We'll do prefab updater and load table, and as it says, it's going to by default load up the block update CSV, which we can see there, and then it's prefab updater, and what was the second one? Clear. Unload tables, and then prefab updater. And bear in mind, I just transferred 1800 files, so that's got to be around about 900 prefabs or so. And it's update blocks. We'll bring that down, press enter, and it didn't work. I don't think I was meant to unload. Let me just try that again. Prefab load table. So this loads the block mappings. I'm sure I've misread the instructions a second time. Update, was it block update? Update blocks, update blocks. There we go. Right, so you see what I've just done there, and the mistake that I made. But if your prefab is made out of vanilla blocks in Alpha 19, you're just going to do the load table, and then you're going to do the update blocks. And it's telling me there, updated 1397 block mappings in, not even a second. Replaced a total of 3600 entries. So you can see there, Oh, so it replaced 33 blocks on that one. 40. But yeah, I mean, it's filled the console out. And then it should just simply be a case of loading them back up. And I know the bridges in particular still have these. And I know exactly which block it is. It's the weird rope block. But other than that, pretty much most of the other stuff that I've had that I've checked, where's the military one? So there's the base, no wonky blocks. Oh, so chain fences still seem like they're a bit off as well. Well, to be honest, it's, I could probably go into Pills Editor and do individual replacements for these. I likely will do that depending on how many prefabs I actually need. But because most of my stuff is little parts and bits, little chunks, but pretty much what they use as parts now, I don't think it's going to matter so much for myself personally. But yeah, that was it. 3 simple commands, and you only need 2. But I mean, you can create custom map files. If you read the help menu instructions, you will... I'm just going to dig some out. But you will see that the full 6 steps are for doing it if you've used custom blocks, basically. Right, so the other new things to really look at is the prefab lots and the part system. So I do know that we've got subfolders in the prefabs folder now for the parts and for the RWG tiles. I'm under the impression you can pretty much copy and paste and just increase the number increments on the name of the prefab itself to throw your own stuff into the mix. I haven't really looked into the super depths of the mixer and how you would maybe make your own district or things like that just yet. But initially, if I just grab my notes, the first command that we've got, we see them used in the dev live stream. If we just zoom out, and that is Control, Shift, and A. And that's going to pretty much give her a variant of all of these different lots that we've got there. Oh, just let it load in. So it's spawned the house, and we can see the part there already. It's just put the prefabs down as a bit of a preview. I wonder actually before I go to... Yeah, so the help menu is still pretty basic. I think probably just before gold we might see a facelift in the editor as all the features that actually end up being in there get kind of documented and what have you. But the other menu that we want to look at is, if I just load something blank, something like this. So if we want to make a new POI marker, we can do Control Shift and Enter. Oh, that was Control Alt. Now, what this is going to let we do is choose whether we want a POI spawn. The road exit, I believe, makes a connection to the RWG roads out in the wild. Part spawn is like they demonstrated in the live streams, utilising the part system. So if we'll make a POI spawn and we'll do a part one. And like I say, this is me kind of really feeling around for the first sort of time as well. I mean, I've asked a lot of questions to a lot of people and I've been back over the dev streams a few times, but I'm just going to call this test for a test group. I'm not going to give it any tags because I don't know what they mean just yet. We'll make a medium. So I can close that down and we can select this as if it was a selection area. So once it's highlighted, I can still hold down G, I can move it around. So we're just going to stick that there. And that's pretty much good. You know, all we've got to do is decide where the front of the prefab's going to be. And I mean, we can rotate with X. Nope. We rotate with the menu. So with it selected, we can press K to get back to here. And I think Shift and Enter, if I close that back down, Shift and Enter brings that straight back up as well. So from not being selected, if I Shift and Enter, yeah. So am I clicking through the menu there? Am I not? Alright, okay, so we can select and deselect from there, which is pretty handy. But there, that's the bit that I was looking for. So if we zoom up there, we can see this prefab is currently facing north. And it might be you require extra parts to make the, I don't know, parking lots and paths and things like that line up. We'll cover all sorts of stuff. It's like day one of experimental, day two. But there, that's now rotated. If I had a nice little street there, I can drop the extra part in, which is kind of what they do for the prefabs themselves. That's going to make the nice little roadway connection. In fact, we'll make a part for that as a quick demonstration as well. What do we want? Control Shift and Enter to make a new one. So that's the test markers. We'll call this prefab connections, or prefab con. This is going to be a part. And this is the interesting part because you get the previews. Now, I know what I'm looking for, but it's quite interesting seeing all the different things that they've made if we just face somewhere where we can see. It's a shame we can't move these menus. But yeah, like all the bus stops. But what I actually want is the countryside. Country town. But you see these driveways here. In fact, we'll just use this one because it should serve as a thing. Now we want that rotated. And I think we want that facing the other way. If we had a street running down the middle, I'm just going to whip that around. And then the little messing around that I have had, you can just build these as decorations, as I was kind of using my little minifab part system. So, and we'll put that there. Now, I believe in the part menu itself, spawn chance. So, because we're always going to have a prefab here, you would always have this spawn in as well. I think this is right. And what we're like for time, we'll have a quick look at an actual RWG tile, because the only thing that I can't really do is throw this into the world editor and load up a game and just have these spawn in. There's a few particulars with the world editor at the minute that I'll probably cover later on as we start to work out all the things that we can and can't do now. But RWG or and we don't want to save that. So does this have any parts? Yes, it does. So if we do Shift and Enter, so they've got 4 lights, all the different POI spawns, and then an ambulance. Where is that? Ah, there it is. So these POIs don't have that little overlapping bit. So if you can imagine, if this is a house, which I think these probably are for this tile, they don't have connections for the roads. You might find like this, we've got the gravel and stuff. There's certain little particulars for the different size plots that you're going to need to consider But again, I think as we start to figure all these out for sure, I'll do a more in detail video. So if I spawn the prefabs in with Control, Shift and A, so that has just a pathway connection. Does it have a drive to any of these? Perhaps this was a bad example of a tile. I think we should maybe look at one of the... Yeah, let's look at a commercial and discard those. Yeah, so these are going to be a bit better. So you can see the way the tile's built here, the path stops. And this is the front of the prefab. Now I want to guess if we spawn something in, this is likely going to be like the shops or the shotgun messiahs that have the big open asphalt fronts. And the idea would be is that regardless of what drops in, they seamlessly sort of interact. But you'll notice things like this. In fact, no, I think that maybe is a little parking lot. Because some of the prefabs, if you load the individual prefabs themselves up, if we go to all, what was their categories for? I've went and tainted it all with mine now, so yeah, this is it. I'll have a look at one of these. In fact, nah, they're a bad example. Is it commercial? Yeah. Alright, these might be better. No, it doesn't have any parts. I think what I need to do is find the medium-sized part group. Because what you would see is when you load the prefabs up, the prefabs have those little sections that I was talking about actually attached to them. So if it uses the prefab, it's going to drop in the extra piece that it needs to sort of cut out that little piece of pathway that you have so that it connects to the road nice. I should have probably better prepared some examples, but I didn't expect to really ramble on so much. Like I say, the main purpose of the video was just to show you that in about 5 minutes you can fix all your A19 prefabs. So rather than blathering on too much, I'm going to go and learn some more things, and then we'll maybe do some live streaming later on in the week, and we'll have a look at the world editor. I'm sure people are wanting to play survival at the minute. I'm itching to play some myself. So I think we're just going to call it quickly there, and I'll see you on Twitch, or I'll see you back on here again soon.